Hello everyone, welcome to IQ Chess. In today's video, I will be showing you 3 amazing traps against the Caro-Kann defense. So let's get straight into the video. For the first trap, we have the 2 knights variation. We start with e4, c6, knight bc3, d5, knight f3, d takes on e4, knight takes on e4 and bishop to f5. This is the main line of the 2 knights Caro-Kann. And here we play the move knight to g3 attacking the bishop. Black usually responds with bishop to g6. Here we play the move h4 threatening to trap the bishop with the move h5. Black usually plays h6 giving room for the bishop, knight to e5 and bishop to h7. And here we play the move queen to h5 threatening a checkmate on h7. Blocking with the bishop would not make sense because we will simply capture the bishop, and following the recapture, there's a massive weakness on the king side. It might look something like bishop back, knight takes, pawn takes, and queen takes. So that's no good. So what would black play? In this position, black usually plays the move g6, threatening our queen, and also blocking the checkmate threat. Here, we play a tricky move, bishop to c4. If you are a lower rated player, I would say below like 1000, you can catch a lot of opponents with this variation right here, because they may just think you are an idiot, they will take the queen and get checkmated immediately. So that's good, right? But that's not the point of the trap. Here, black usually plays the move e6, blocking the vision of your bishop, and we play a super tricky move, queen to e2. I'm glad to tell that from this point on, according to the Leech's database, white wins 87% of the games. So this is crushing. The reason being, every single natural move for black loses on the spot. If you are playing this position as the black pieces for the first time, some of the moves that you might think right away are knight f6, bishop to g7, or knight to d7. But all of them lose on the spot. Let me show you how. Let's say black plays knight to f6. Here, we go for a knight sacrifice with knight takes on f7. We are forking the queen and the rook. So if the queen moves, we are going to take the rook. So black might take your knight with the king, but we are dead lost. Let us see if we can spot the mate in 2. Yes, the mate in 2 starts with queen takes on e6 check, and after king goes to g7, the only move, we play queen to f7 and that's a checkmate. Similarly, if we come back, if black goes for bishop to g7, still the same knight sacrifice works, and following king takes, we have queen takes on e6, king goes to f8, the only legal move, and queen to f7 is a beautiful checkmate. So this is one of the best traps of the Caro-Kann defense, and also it is super solid, so you can try this in slow time controls as well. Now, let's get to the second trap. The second trap of the video comes from the Breyer variation. We have e4, c6, d3, d5, and knight to f3. If you would like to learn the whole theory and ideas behind the Breyer variation, I made a complete dedicated video on this specific variation, going over the common ideas and the theory, and also showcasing some master games. So, if you're interested, you can find a link for it in the description and in the iCard above. Let's continue with the trap. We have d takes e4 on the board, and we will play a tricky move, knight to g5. We are attacking the pawn twice now, and knight takes would be winning as a pawn back. So black might be greedy and be like, why lose the pawn for free when I can take on d3 and get 2 pawns for the cost of 1? And we reach this position. It's a super critical position, and here, one of the most common moves according to the database at beginner and intermediate level is the move h6, kicking the knight out. This move seems natural because the knight makes you feel uncomfortable. But this is a big mistake, as we can play the move knight takes on h7. Again, it's a fork. The rook and queen are being forked. The queen moves, we are going to win a free rook. So, black will take with the king. Now here, there are two main things in this position. First things, if you know the ICBM variation, you might be looking at bishop to g6 check and you can win the queen. However, we have something better. Can you spot it? Yes, it is the move queen to h5 check and it's forced mate. Playing g6 would not make sense because g6 we can just recapture and it's an immediate checkmate. So what can black play? Black has only two options to come up to f6 or e6. If black plays the move king g6, we have king f6, we have queen to g6 check. King e5 is the only move. We have bishop to f4 check. King can't take the bishop because queen to g3 would be a checkmate. King has to go to the d file. We have queen to e4 check. King to c5 the only move. Queen to c4 check. And after king to b6, queen to b4 is a beautiful checkmate. This king started his journey in the e8 square and was dragged all around the world and got checkmated brutally on the basic square. Similarly, in this position, if the king chooses to go to e6, it is still dead lost. This time, we play queen to f5 check. King has to come to d6. We have bishop to f4 check. Blocking with e5 is the only sensible option. After queen takes and king to d7, we have a devastating checkmate with bishop to f5. The bishops and the queen crisscross the king and we have just won the game in 11 minutes. Now, before getting into the final trap of this video, if you are enjoying the video, slap the like button and subscribe with notification turned on. We are very close to reaching 100 subscribers and it really helps me stay motivated and bring more interesting chess content like this in the future. Also, I would like to thank each and every one of you watching this video. The support on the channel has been amazing lately and it's really making me feel good. Okay, now let's get into the final trap of the video. This is rather a small trap where you can win in just 6 moves. Yeah, I'm not exaggerating. You can win the game in just 6 moves. This trap comes out of the Karpov variation and this trap usually is only supposed to be played in faster time controls such as blitz and bullet. We have e4, c6, d4, d5 and knight to c3. After d takes, we have knight takes e4. This is the main line of the Caro-Kann defense. And knight to d7 is known as the Karpov variation. In this position, the choices that black has are playing knight out, and after the capture, they can play what is called as a Tartar cover with e takes or the Bronstein-Larsen with b takes. Black can also play bishop to f5 and follow the main line, or play the Karpov variation with knight to d7. The point of knight to d7 is simple. Black would like to play the move queen to f6, the next move, and following the capture, they would like to take back with the knight. So that is a simple point. However, here we play a super tricky move, queen to e2. In blitz and bullet, black might not even be thinking in the opening. They will just blitz up the move. They'll be on autopilot and they can even pre-move the move knight to f6. But this is a really big mistake. Let us see if you can spot the mate in one on the board. Yes, we play knight to d6 check and that's checkmate. It's a beautiful smothered mate. The king can't move anywhere and the pawn is being pinned to the king by our queen. And this way, we have defeated the Caro-Kann player in just 6 moves. That is basically it for today's video, guys. As always, if you have any questions regarding the variations, comment them below. I will respond to them definitely. Bye.